So let's look at the kind of coins that you should be investing in if you have, let's say, $100 or $200 to invest in cryptocurrency. Before we proceed, I want to say that this is not financial advice. I am not a financial advisor. I want you guys to take risk that you can manage, and don't put in money that you cannot afford to lose. And also in the comment section below, I don't want you falling for any scammers in the comments or bots, stuff like that. I'm not going to ask you to send me money for anything, so make sure you don't fall victim to any of those. The only thing I'm going to ask you to do is to follow me on Twitter at Ndubisi, and also to join my Telegram community using the link down below. That's the only thing I'm ever going to ask you to do. All right, let's get into the video now. There's some few things I want to say right now, right, based on the kind of money that you are working with. Let's say you have $100 now, and it's the kind of money you can afford to lose, right, or $200, and you want to invest it in cryptocurrency. A few things you need to understand, first of all, is that you're going to make more money if you are putting that money for a long-term investment, right? You're not just trying to double the money overnight. If you're trying to double the money overnight, you're going to start getting into things like futures and, margin trading, high leverage trading. That is not going to be good long term. You're going to lose that money and you're going to feel very bad. It's definitely going to happen. So please don't do that, especially if you're not experienced. What you should be looking at are coins that you can put in your money and you can close your two eyes and sleep comfortably. Those are the kind of things that you should actually be looking at, and I'm going to be giving you some of those of my top picks that I think that you can just put your money in and close your eyes. Again, I'm not saying that all these coins I'm going to pick are definitely going to make it. Some of them might not move past where they are right now, but definitely you are going to make some point of profits. It's all about being able to manage your profit. Now, another question I get a lot, which I would like to address, is the question of people asking when you should take profits. Now, there's always going to be that question of when should I take profits. There's something you need to understand, that you put in a certain amount of money. When you see that that amount you added some money to it, you should just be in the habit of removing that profit and either rotating it into other coins or just putting it for a long-term hold. So it's up to you to decide whenever you want to take profits. I'm not running a signal group currently. Probably in future I will, where I can be telling you, oh, buy at this price and sell at this price and stuff like that. But since I'm not doing that right now, I can't just start saying, oh, this is the best time to sell, this is the best time to buy. I'm not a market controller. I don't control the markets, and neither do you. So that's why you need to manage your risk very well. Now let us look into some of my top picks, or should I say my top categories, and tell you why we're going with them. Today we're working solely with CoinGecko because I just like CoinGecko more than CoinMarketCap. I prefer CoinGecko, I don't know why, but I just really like CoinGecko. Anyway, there's something I said in my previous video where I was talking about how to spot buying opportunities, how to know how to get into a coin, and one of the main things I touched on in that video was the importance of looking at the market cap of a coin, right? The market cap is very, very important. Now, you're going to notice that once you visit a site like CoinGecko, most of the categories, most of the coins, they are always listed in terms of market cap. That's from the highest market cap to the lowest market cap. So most of the coins that are up there that have a huge market cap, most of them, they are not going to fly overnight, because the market cap is very, very big. The circulating supply and the amount of money that's being traded is a lot. And so it's going to be hard for it to just do a 10x or a 5x or something like that. Most of them still have a good potential to do a 2 to 4x. But if you're looking for 5x to 10x gains on your money, that's not really where you want to be looking. So let's scroll down a bit. There are some ecosystems, right? Before I even talk about ecosystems, one thing I want to point out now is that there's one particular category that you should never bet against, and that category is called the exchange-based tokens, right? And the reason why you shouldn't bet against exchange-based tokens is very, very simple. Exchange-based tokens are tokens that are native to a particular platform. So for example, BNB is the native token of Binance, right? Crypto.com coin, that's CRO, is native coin for Crypto.com. Uniswap, that's UNI, is the native coin for Uniswap. FTT is the native coin for FTX token. OKB is for OKX, you understand. Loopring is for LRC. So these tokens, right, that are exchange-based tokens, you always want to have some form of these exchange-based tokens in your wallet. And here's why. whenever you use any of these particular platforms, or when people use most of these particular platforms, they are automatically going to be introduced to these particular coins. And most of these coins, you have to, like, before you can buy another coin, they are trading pairs attached to them. For example, on BNB, there's almost no coin that you want to buy on Binance that you can't see a trading pair of it with BNB. That's because BNB is the native token of what? Binance, and Binance is the largest exchange in, like, the largest centralized exchange for cryptos. So it just makes sense, right, that BNB will continue going up, because what? There's a huge use case, and a lot of people are going to be using that coin, and the market is big for it. So it's no surprise that BNB would actually go up. I think at the beginning of the year, BNB was trading about $10 or so, right? And now BNB is over 615. So that was like a bet that you could have easily made for a long term, and you're going to make your money. Another coin now that is in that category, which is also going to bloom, which has a lot of room to bloom, is CRO, which is the Crypto.com coin, right? The Crypto.com coin has a long way to go, and right now you can see it's in a dip, because I think a few days ago it almost reached $1. It was almost at like 0.9 or something, but now it has fallen down to 0.7. So it's a good buy, right? It's a good buy just for the main reason that a lot of people use Crypto.com, the Crypto.com platform, and more people are going to be using it. And they actually bought the naming rights to Staples Center. So that is all big news that tells you that this is a good coin to buy right now. The next one I'm going to look at here is the FTX token. FTX is another exchange that is killing it. They are making waves in the African markets, in the American markets, everywhere they are booming. So if you buy this and hold for a long term, you are going to see potential there, right? And also look at the price. Make sure you're looking at the prices. Binance, that's BNB, has actually gone very high. The current price you can see is at 615, but the closest competitor, which is Crypto.com, on this particular chart here is still at 0.7. So that tells you that there's still room for actual growth, notwithstanding the fact that the market cap has actually gone up to about 18 billion. But when you compare that to Binance's own market cap of 102 billion, you can see that there is a huge space, very, very huge space for it to actually grow if it keeps on growing at the rate that is actually growing to. Another one that is also here that makes a lot of sense, which I'm going to talk about, is the KuCoin token, right? KuCoin token still has a long, it still has like very, very big room to grow, because a lot of people use KuCoin, and KuCoin now is at $25.45 with a market cap of just 1.9 billion. So that tells you that there's still a long, there's still room, right? There's still very big room to grow. Another one that I'm going to touch on is Gate token. That's for Gate.io. Gate.io also has room to grow, because the price now is at 6.89 and the market cap is at 1 billion, right? So these particular ones that I've mentioned now, they have huge room to actually grow. I will have said MX token, because MX token, I use MEXC. So you have to understand it from the standpoint of, these are platforms that I've actually used and platforms that I've seen how they work. So it kind of makes sense that the platforms are going to keep on growing, because there are people using it actively and there's a lot of activity going on there. All right, so those particular ones that I've picked on now, those are the ones that I'm actually looking at. Some decentralized exchange tokens like Uniswap and PancakeSwap, yes, they have room for growth, but I'm not really into them a lot, seeing as especially PancakeSwap haven't really moved. Like, it hasn't taken off a lot. It actually fell towards the beginning of the year, that's during the last bear market, and then it hasn't really picked up that much. It hasn't picked up in this altcoin season, so I'm not really betting on PancakeSwap at all. That is making me have a bias on most of the other decentralized exchange tokens. So that's why I'm mentioning these particular ones. These ones, they are centralized, they have money, they're going to be spending on marketing, they're doing a lot of things to put their face out there and get people to actually know them. So there's a lot of room for them to actually grow. Now, something else I want to point out here is that in order to make money from the different categories which I'm going to be talking about right now, there is something called being a specialist in a particular category. You're going to see there's a lot of categories, there's different ecosystems. But you have to understand, if you guys have followed my content, remember when one of the ways I actually came to limelight was being in the Facebook ads circle and being known as the Facebook ads guy. Why am I telling you this is important? Because if you want to actually go in and make the most money, you're not going to make the most money by just moving from ecosystem to ecosystem, right? The person that's going to make the most money is the person who can focus on a particular ecosystem and derive the most value out of it. So for example, if you're going with something like the gaming ecosystem, or you're going something like the Solana ecosystem, the person that can actually take this ecosystem and study it, right? Study all the coins that are in that particular ecosystem, so that even when a new project comes, you have the ability, you have the foresight, or you have enough knowledge to know that this coin that is coming out actually has a lot of potential. The only way you can do that is by becoming a specialist in that particular ecosystem. I'm not talking about just one coin now. I'm talking about the particular ecosystem. So feel free to pick a particular ecosystem that is doing well, that is doing absolutely well, or something that you generally like. For me personally, it's play to earn, it's gaming. I'm looking into metaverse. Those are the ecosystems that I'm looking at. Those are ecosystems that I believe in. Phantom is another ecosystem that I actually believe in. So these are ecosystems that I am monitoring steadily, so that I can understand how the market is moving in that ecosystem, and then I trade along those lines. So I hold coins, I hold very good coins in those markets, right? I just needed to put that out, that it's best to become a master, become a specialist in one ecosystem than just jumping up and down the different ecosystems and, you know, just putting your money in different places. So now that I've said that, the next category of coins I'm going to be talking about after the exchange tokens are the coins that carry an ecosystem. What do I mean by the coins that carry an ecosystem? So for example, when it comes to Polygon, the Polygon ecosystem, the coin carrying the Polygon ecosystem is actually a coin called Polygon, which is represented by the ticker MATIC. So MATIC is the coin that is like the head coin of the Polygon ecosystem, and so MATIC is also a good buy. You can see the price of MATIC. MATIC is at $1.71 with a market cap of 11.5 billion. MATIC still has a long way to go because it is actually carrying this ecosystem, and there's a lot of things you just need to understand it from the standpoint of there's a lot of coins that are being built on this particular ecosystem, and if they're ever going to work or take off, they have to do some form of interaction with this particular ecosystem tokens, the coins carrying the ecosystem. The same thing goes for Solana ecosystem. The coin carrying it is Solana, so Solana too is gonna have potential. Let's go to the next ecosystem, which is Avalanche ecosystem, and that's AVAX. AVAX too is potential there, right? Notice that most of these coins, they've actually gone up, like the price has actually gone up. That's to show you that if you had actually gotten in when the price was little, you would have made a lot of money. So watch out for ecosystem and the coins that are carrying those ecosystem. There's a lot of potential in any coin that is carrying a particular ecosystem. Same thing for Cardano, right? ADA too has potential. ADA hasn't taken off yet, but I'm very, very sure that ADA is actually going to take off, and when it takes off, it's going to take the entire the entire Cardano ecosystem with it. Another ecosystem to look at is Polkadot, that's the DOT. So DOT 2 is another ecosystem that is moving. Another one is Cosmos, which is Atom, right? Then Phantom too. Yeah, I'm bullish on Phantom like crazy because I know Phantom is actually what they are doing with Phantom. If you study what they are doing, you study the coins, you study the system, you read about Phantom and what they're actually doing, is very, very exciting and has a lot of potential. So yeah, I'm bullish on Phantom as well. And then Olympus Pro. Yes, Olympus Pro is mostly Spell I'm looking at there, right? So Spell is like the number one coin I'm looking at inside the Olympus Pro category. And in gaming, right, Axie Infinity, of course, Axie Infinity is on top there. Axie Infinity is carrying everything in that particular system, and then Play to Earn also, Axie Infinity is there. So for Play to Earn and for gaming, the three coins that are actually like carrying it are Axie Infinity, Mana, and Sand. Those three coins are like the top, but it doesn't mean that there are no other coins. For example, Gala is another coin that is actually making waves in that particular ecosystem. Illuvium, although Illuvium price has actually gone up, but Illuvium, if you study the project Illuvium, you're going to see that there's a lot of great things that they're actually doing. And you know, if you've seen the gameplay of Illuvium, you understand what I'm talking about. It's way different from all the other games. It shows that there's a lot of potential in what they're actually doing, and they're actually serious about what they're building, which reflects in the price and why a lot of people are actually hyped about it. So Illuvium is a very, very good buy. So now I've covered most of the coins. I've talked about the coins that are carrying a particular ecosystem, right? the next thing that you might want to understand is, okay, when is the best time to actually buy these coins? And if you want to know the best time to buy any coin, right, I've given some pointers already on the Telegram channel, but the first thing that you want to have in mind is don't always buy a coin at the all-time high, right? The all-time high means that if you check the price on Coinbase, for example, let me pick a particular coin right now. So let me go to Solana just for an example. So I've picked Solana now. I'm scrolling down. Let's look at Solana. Let's look at the price chart when it comes up, right? So Solana right now is at $204. I'm just giving an example. Solana is at 204, and the all-time high was at what? 259, right? $259. So when Solana reached $259, that is not the time to be asking, should you buy a coin, right? When Bitcoin goes to an all-time high, you see people asking that very newbie question, which is this the right time to buy? It's not a right time to buy when the coin is at the all-time high, because at the all-time high, there's a lot of excitement in the market, and what's happening is that a lot of people that are putting money before, they're using this opportunity to now take their profit, and definitely the market is going to start dipping, right? The market is going to start dipping once people start taking their profit. So please and please and please don't buy coins at an all-time high. What you want to do is watch out. Once the coin is at an all-time high, watch out for retraces. The market is actually going to retrace, and for this particular part, you need some form of trading knowledge. You need some form of trading expertise. You need to understand how the charts work. So in my last video, I mentioned TradingView. This is where TradingView actually comes into play. Once the market moves up to a particular level, you can use like historic data. If you move back on the chart, you're going to be able to see what? You're going to be able to see times that the market, or places where the market actually pulled back to, where there was a retracement. And those places are either called support or resistance, depending on how price behaves at that point. So if the price reaches that point and then it bounces off of it, that place is acting as a what? Is acting as a support, right? But if the place that price reaches and then it now breaks, that place is acting as a resistance. So that's a way to understand it, right? So there's it's like ceiling and floors. Understand it with ceiling and floors. There's the ceiling, which is the up, and then there's the floor, which is down. So if the price ever goes up and it reaches a particular point, which is most likely the all-time high, that all-time high is most likely going to act as a ceiling, and then price would fall from that ceiling and go down to test a previous point where it acted as a resistance or as a support, as the case may be. So the price will always be doing this thing. The price always goes up and down, up and down. So watch out for those particular points where price is doing an up and down movement, and that is where you actually want to buy in, right? Buy at the retracement. The price is always going to give you a retracement, right? That's all I have. That's all you have to understand about price. So I'm just going to move over to TradingView so I can show you like an example of what this price movement thing actually means, right? So let me go into TradingView. All right, so here right now on our screen we have FTM, which is Phantom, and let me give you an example of what these price movements actually mean, right? This is the daily time frame. I'm going to move over to, let me look at the 4-hour time frame first of all, just so you understand what this price thing actually means. All right, so in every market, right, in every coin, there's always going to be this up and down movements, right? And you can see if we scroll down, if we move back like historically, let's zoom out, let's see something, right? You can see that there are places where the price always reach, and then price will do something. Price will either bounce up or it will bounce down, right? So look at this here. I'm going to draw a line. This is like basic trading knowledge. I'm not really the boss when it comes to this kind of stuff, but honestly, you don't really need to be the boss of these things. You just need to look and you begin to understand it, right? So you can see this particular point here. What happened at this point here in the past? This was like going back all the way to October, right? What happens when price reaches this particular point? You can see what happened here. When price was going up, price went up all the way. It got up to here. Let me mark here also so you understand what I'm saying. Price got to this region, and one thing you have to understand about this price is that it is a particular region. It's not just one price point, right? It's a particular region that price reaches, and then it acts a particular way. So when price got up to this region here, price got up to this region, this place now acted as well. This place acted as a ceiling, and then the price started coming down. It came down, we almost touched this line, and then it went up again to this same place that acted as a ceiling, and then it started going down again and got to this place where it acts as a resistance, and then as a support. So it acted as support here, and then it now started going up again. It started going up, it passed this place, it still retested this particular point, but then it broke free and went up again. It came down, went up, came down, went up, came down, went up, tried to test this particular line, went up again, came down as if you wanted to test it, went up, now came down with huge force and came back to this particular level to test it, right? It went up again, came down to test this level, it went up again, and it came down to test this particular level again. So what am I trying to say is that you have to look at historic data. So if you are scroll back to this chart and you looked at what happened in October, it will have given you an idea of what price normally does when it gets to this level. So that's why I'm trying to make you understand what price does is an up and down movement, right? When the price got to this particular point, if you have been looking at it, price gives an indication that it has reached a particular level. So where you're always looking to enter your positions is at a particular level. You look at that particular level and what is price doing at that particular level. There's a way that the candles will have behaved here that will tell you that, okay, price is not looking to break here. Probably it just touched this place and then it started moving up. That gives you an idea that the price is not looking to break this particular point. And now that you've seen that, you can now go for a long, right? That's a buy order, and is also represented here on this particular indicator, which is the stochastic. You can see price went and then it came down, and you can see at this particular point where it came down, it started reversing, it started going up, right? So just from this move here, from this place to this place that it had gone up, you'll have already been in profit, and then you can now take out a little of your profits and then leave the remaining money to actually keep on going. So I know that sounds very, very like beginner understanding, but that's how you understand it. There's a lot of other trading indicators that, you know, as you get into the market and as you have more knowledge, you're going to understand what all these indicators mean. But essentially, that is how these guys do it, right? They check out what price is actually doing at a particular point, and then they use indicators to understand what exactly price is going to do next at that point, and then they just trade it. But then they make sure to set their stop loss. So for example, if I was going to enter this trade here, like when the price hits this particular point, just to make sure that I don't lose a lot of money, I'll look at this particular low point here. That's the lowest point that this price actually reached. Let me pull out the profit and loss. So if I'm taking a long here, you see, I will just set my stop loss to just be below this particular low. That's the place that the price ever went to as the lowest. I will just set it there, and then I will do what? I will increase my profit. So I can set my profit to like a 2-to-1 risk reward ratio. So 2 will be about here, right? You can see. So if I set this trade as a 2-to-1 risk reward ratio, when the price got to this point here, I'll just enter my trade, right? I'll set my trade. I'll use these prices as my point of entering a trade. I'm entering the trade at this particular point, which is here, and then I'm setting my stop loss to be here, so that if price decides to start going below here, it's not going to actually attack me, right? It's just going to take a little bit of my money. It's not going to wipe out my entire account. So I set that, and then I let the trade to start going, and then you start watching. You just look at the price, and then you can see price is already going up, and then it's going to hit your take profits, give or take, in a matter of hours or minutes, right? So that's a way to understand it. I just try to give like a basic understanding or like a basic analysis. Probably in other videos I'll start talking about different indicators and different type of indicators that you can use But then you have to understand that most indicators are all used in combination with other indicators. There is no person that is going to tell you that their strategy is 100% and that they never fail. If you see anybody that says that, please run away. The idea is for you to make more wins than you're actually losing. That's just the general idea of this stuff that we're doing in trading. And then for good coins, just hold a percentage of them and don't even trade them at all. Most of these coins like FTM that I talk about, there's some portion of it that I don't even trade at all. I just have it in a separate wallet. Whether it's going up or it's going down, I don't even check that wallet. I just have it there that is just growing on its own. But the other ones that I'm using for trading, I have it for trading purposes, right? So that, I just hope I gave a good explanation of how I actually trade coins, and you know, how to pick coins that actually have good investment. In another video, I'm going to start talking about maybe like trading indicators, or I'll start talking about, you know, how to pick these particular price points or the best indicators to use for different time frames. If you guys enjoyed this video, let me know in the comment section. Also tell me the kind of content that you want to see me make. If you haven't joined the Telegram, do make sure to join the Telegram using the link below, and also follow me on Twitter at Ndubisi. I'm going to be talking more about crypto there and giving some of my top picks for crypto. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.